Everything's happening at the same time. So we're live on the air, and I've got a very, very special friend in the house today. Actually, he's in his house today. It's Bert Parsley at Twisted Fork. How you doing there, Bert?
I'm doing great, John. How you doing, man?
Not too bad. How are things happening where you are right now? How's the weather and what's everything looking like there?
Everything's great. Weather's beautiful. Beautiful southern Florida today. Had a great lunch today. Busy, good crowd. Went really well. We're looking forward to a busy night tonight. We got the John Michael Band on tonight. Going to draw a good crowd. I'm looking forward to it.
Was in last night.
Right.
And what's that?
I said I missed that. You muted for a minute there.
Oh, sorry about that. You had a good band in last night.
Oh yeah, we did. We had a pretty awesome charity event last night. It was building homes for homeless vets. It was quite fun. Had two bands. They were a blast. 7 Year Witch was the first band. And I got to tell you, they were young. They were solid. They were very good. Lead singers doing backflips on stage. It was pretty cool. We're actually going to invite them back again for sure.
Well, your venue is kind of set up for success for a lot of these guys. Are they expecting the venue that they walk into a lot of times?
Usually not. Yeah, usually not. It's a little different here. We're, a full-service restaurant, but also a fully functioning 24,000 square foot covered event space right beside us, which is great. Obviously, us and the Black Widow Harley Davidson crew share the space. It works out really well. We've got some cool synergy between the businesses, and the bands usually get a little bit of a surprise. It's a little different than some club somewhere,
Yeah, and it's it's a great venue to go listen to music and eat some really good food. We have the Browns backers that are there now on Sundays, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
And then you also host the Northport Buckeyes and the RWA Buckeyes out of Rotunda on Saturdays for their football games.
Yeah, that we do. We're lucky enough to have a whole nother room besides the dining room and the back porch space to be able to host these guys. So yeah, the Ohio State gang is here on Saturdays to watch their games, and then the Browns backers have adopted this as their home base as well. So it's been working out pretty cool.
It's fun to watch new businesses grow within the community. What do you do to give back to the community? Kind of talk about, you just had your fundraiser, so obviously you're working with organizations to give back.
We do a lot, yes. There's various charity groups we're involved in, and we host the events. We have a big fashion show coming up in 2 weeks, and it's a charity fundraiser that Realtor Association is putting on. That'll be fun. We've done stuff for, different chamber events. We've done stuff for pets. I love to do stuff for the shelters and all. We've done a few things for the pet coalitions and stuff here. Obviously, close to my heart is fosters. Anything we can do to help some foster organizations, we like to do that. There's one in Fort Myers we've actually been hosting and doing various things with for years now. And, foster parents are selfless, and I appreciate what they do for the kids. And it's, a little near and dear to my heart for sure.
Yeah. So with everything that you're doing, what's the weekend look like at Twisted Fork this weekend?
This weekend is going to be a ball. Obviously, besides all the football games that we're doing Saturday and Sunday, we've got bands all through the whole weekend. So if you're into some live music, every weekend we do the big stage, which is outside where I am right now. But during the week, we're having live music as well now, 7 days a week. So whether it's on the secondary small stage outside or whether we host them inside, depending what weather, what have you, 7 days a week you can come here and listen to live music. The weekends are obviously what we push because we do the full-blown production with bands and great sound systems and lights, and it's just you'll get a full concert feel on the weekends.
Without having to drive to Tampa.
Without having to drive to Tampa. That is absolutely correct. Right in the backyard here.
And to have something so unique in our backyards. That's why I like to promote it, because I am the guy who likes to go to concerts and hang out in Tampa at the concert center. And it's coming to your place, you get that full effect of a true blown concert in a smaller venue, but man, it's full of power. I've got to give you guys props because you guys are doing it right.
Well, thanks. We're glad to be here. I hear it all the time. People come up to me and they say, thank you. Port Charlotte needed something like this. And man, we're psyched to provide it. It's been great. I just love the community here. A bunch of great people, and the community's really supported us, from opening during COVID. And, I was scared to death. Didn't know how this all was going to work out. But it's worked out pretty well so far. And, I want to thank the community personally. It's been great meeting everyone and having them here.
Tell me a little bit about the relationship you have with Black Widow, because this partnership has got to run on all cylinders all the time.
It does. It does. It's great. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, it's great, John. It really is. A lot of people don't know this, but there are two Berts. I will graciously call myself the other Bert. The original Bert is Bert King. He owns Black Widow Harley Davidson, as well as Bert's Barracuda Harley Davidson in St. Pete. He's a very forward thinker. I love the guy. He's a risk taker like me, and he thinks big, and we get along so well. He's my business partner, my friend, and my landlord in this operation here. And I got to tell you, it couldn't work out better. He's got a great staff at Black Widow, from the parts department, service, sales guys. I mean, they're really just a great group. And there's a great synergy between our two staffs, and it works out well. So, it's kind of a neat, you get a full experience here. You can come and, enjoy the food, enjoy the events, enjoy the music. But man, there's some really cool motorcycles and motor clothes to check out too.
Well, and I want to talk about that for a couple of minutes, because there is a portion of our society that gets scared off from bikers. It's a biker bar. I actually explained that today to somebody, and I said, well, the last time I went into a biker bar, I didn't have Brussels sprouts with cheese and nuts on top. That wasn't the ideal biker bar recipe that I found to be the case. And so I kind of want you to talk about I know that you talk about your giving and what you do at Twisted Fork. Talk about what the bikers now do too. They do a lot of kid style fundraising. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I got to tell you, the biker lifestyle is just that. It's a lifestyle. There's something that just gives you this freedom, and it's just glorious when you're out on two wheels with your friends. People think it's, we are not a biker bar. Far from it. Okay, we are an automotive motorcycle steampunk vibe restaurant where you get a Disney World type experience. So I can't tell you how cool all the biker clubs have been that have come and go here. I mean, we've hosted a lot of them. They all do charity fundraisers. They all love to give back to the community. And we host a lot of them for their meetings and for some of their events or anniversaries or whatever. And gosh, I got to tell you, it works out so well. And if you have a that the biker community is negative in any way, shape, or form, you don't know it. It's so far from that. These guys have just been great. They have just been great. They're wonderful customers. They become friends. They always try to help out. Anything, they're always, what can we do? What can we do? It's a great bunch, man. I got to tell you, it's been fun getting to know the various clubs and learning what they're about.
So I'll give a little bit about my experience too. Being the leader of the Buckeye group and taking on some of the fundraisers we do really works good in conjunction with what you're doing. But when I went out after one game a couple weeks ago and just hanging out, listening to music, ended up talking to a couple bikers. And my normal, me, the normal John Rawlings, I'm going to talk to everybody. But I actually started sharing what we do in the room because they were curious.
Sure.
A lot of them aren't Ohio State fans, but they found out what we do. And what you find out is the more that you just talk to people, there's a lot of interest in fundraisers, and it's funny that persona that they have is totally different when you just get to sit down and talk to them. They're normal guys. They ride bikes, you know.
Right. That's right. They're great.
It is, and I wanted to kind of break that up a little bit because, you know, to show up to a concert where there's a tremendous, and he's booting back up again, but to come back on when there's a group of people meeting and there is a good diverse group of people, you just have to appreciate how everybody gets along and you know, does their thing. And at these events that he hosts, I've had the pleasure of enjoying a lot of them. And I got to tell you, there's a lot of fundraiser going on. There's a lot of support within the community going on. There are a lot of things happening that really make the events even more special as things go on. Hopefully he'll boot back up here in a second. We'll have him back on. But, you know, we're having Fun Friday today, and there's a lot happening within the community. I know I wanted to talk to him a little bit about the wrestling event. There's a wrestling event coming up on Saturday. I want him to come back in. Hi, Beth. How you doing? I appreciate the little comment there. Probably see you tonight. But there's so much happening in our community, and I am really about making our community stronger. I've got another fundraiser that I was hoping to have them on to talk about it. It's Cornhole for Mammograms. It's coming up in October. There's a lot going on there. It's Broad Street Grill at Treasure Lanes. If you know anything about cornhole, they're having a cornhole tournament to raise funds. Get a hold of Treasure Lanes and talk to Brittany and let them know what's going on in your group as far as wanting to participate in a cornhole tournament. I know that fundraisers are a difficult thing to do. They're hard to put together, and they're even harder to put together post-COVID. So the more that we share this information, the more that we talk to people and let them know what's happening in our community in a positive light. Everything has to be done in a positive light. Everything has to be done the right way, because people's mindsets are a little different today. People are more fragile today than ever before. You've got COVID out there. You've got the scare of COVID. You've got people that need to be vaccinated or not vaccinated. They're intermixing their arguments with each other. The weaponizing of information has got to change within our community. We have got to all step back, and I'm talking everybody's got to step back. Stop listening to the politicians. Step back, analyze your life, and make the adjustments. I'm not in agreement, and I'm going to go there for politics for a second. I'm not in agreement with the forced mandates that our government seems to think we all need. I think they need to check their flag and make sure they're in the right country a lot of times. And I'm going to call them out, because all my life I've heard my choice, my body, until the government tells you otherwise. It doesn't make any sense to me. The same party that says my choice, my body is having a problem. But I'm going to come back to Bert, and then I'll rant and rave about the vaccine. But Bert, you've got a huge event coming up tomorrow, which should be a lot of fun, I would think, with some wrestling. I mean, kind of educate me on what you got going on there.
Yeah, pretty neat. We haven't done the wrestling before. Kind of looking forward to it. These guys are great. Just characters. They've put on some amazing marketing leading up to this event. We are putting a wrestling ring right in the middle of the pavilion, and we're also going to have a band on stage at the same time. So we're actually going to have music in between the wrestling matches, which is just going to be really cool. And these guys, they dress the part. They have their whole outfits and ready to go. And I'm telling you, it's going to be pretty cool. We're selling limited numbers of ringside seats, but the rest of it's just come and watch for free. It ought to be pretty neat. It all starts at 5 o'clock.
That sounds like a blast to me.
Yeah.
It sounds like you should have a pretty good draw because, in our world, our adult world, let's face it, if you're not trying to find something unique to do, we all get to sit and listen to music. We all get to do those sort of things. The beauty is you're kind of intermixing a lot of things in with what you do. You actually had you had the stage set up where you had a walkway built out into the center. Is that still set up today?
It's not. We actually had to take it down for the concert last night, and then obviously it would be in the way for the wrestling. So we pulled the runway down for now, but it will be coming back up. Like I said, we have a fashion show coming up in 2 weeks, and so we're actually going to double the size of that runway for the fashion show. So, and that's all for charity too. So keep a lookout on Facebook for that if you have any interest in attending, and that'll be a lot of fun.
And you mentioned that was for the Realtors Association?
That's right.
Awesome. That's the Punta Gorda Realtors Association, correct?
I believe it is. Yes.
Yep. So you got a lot of things going on to really attract yourself into the neighborhoods out there. You've got the vision of the future right across the street in Westport.
Right.
What's the excitement for you about seeing a neighborhood develop right across the street from where you've built your restaurant?
Won't hurt the business, that's for sure. It's going to be pretty cool. I'm a Florida kid, born and raised, so a lot of the development is a little sweet and sour to me. I hate seeing the woods coming down, and I hate seeing, what do they say, urban sprawl, I guess. But it's progress, and it is what it is. I guess it's inevitable. And Westport, hey, they're building. I think there are 5 preferred builders over there, and all the models are open and going, and right across the street. So we'll be the closest restaurant to the neighborhood.
That nothing like being the walking distance restaurant.
Yeah, I was messing with Bill Truex the other day. He was in eating, and I said, "Hey, Commissioner, what do you think about doing a pedestrian bridge over 776?"
That would be cool.
He laughed at me, but
well, listen, that would help you with parking.
I think it'd be neat, I think it'd be.
I listen. Even a golf cart bridge.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, why not? I mean, if you're gonna go for this, you might as well go big or go home, right?
That's right. Exactly.
So what's the ringside seat cost at the wrestling event?
What's that now?
The ringside seat. What's that run?
Oh gosh, I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up on the Facebook page. I don't remember what the costs are. It's not much, but I forget what the tickets are.
Here's the beauty. I didn't even know I was going to have a gotcha moment. I threw you a gotcha moment.
I missed that, John.
I said I got you. I threw out a gotcha moment, and I didn't even realize I was going to throw that out at you.
It's all right. I can take it.
I know. So what happens on Sunday at your place? Well, let's put it this way. Most restaurants like yours that are music oriented and really entertainment driven, a lot of them, are not open for breakfast on the weekends. Can you describe a little bit about your breakfast?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we open for breakfast every Saturday and Sunday morning at 8 o'clock. We've got a pretty awesome menu. I change it up, sometimes I'll add a special, pancake, whatever. We mix up different things. We got all kind of stuff in the kitchen that we can play with. So we like to play. So you'll see various things come and go on the menu. But yeah, from 8 to 11, breakfast is being served. We also have bottomless Bloody Marys and mimosas for $15. So pretty cool.
That is awesome. I really appreciate you coming on and really talking about your restaurant and the venue that you have and the concert that's tonight and the wrestling for tomorrow. So if you've got anything else to add in, feel free.
No, just thanks for having me. It's a pleasure being on with you guys. And hey, if you haven't been by, please come check us out. I think you'll like the Twisted Fork. It's a unique place in Charlotte County, and we love being here.
Awesome. Thanks, Bert. I appreciate you coming on, buddy.
All right, man. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Talk to you soon. All right. Bye-bye. All right. So I'm going to finish here real quick, and I'm going to bring Marie on. But I started my little rant about freedom and choice. People need to stop and think. They need to slow down. Uh, I, I've been in now the listening industry for about 2 years on this radio program, and I've gotten to listen to a lot of people. I've got to educate myself on how they believe, how they handle themselves. The one thing I've noticed is that a lot of people that have flexibility in their life tend to settle in a little bit and maybe manage things a little different. It's the ones that have their firm belief that everything is one way or no way. I'm just saying, if we all just step back, I think we'd realize that there's some middle ground. There's some middle ground in this. The government should not ever be mandating anything and forcing it down our throats, especially the same party who made it my body, my choice. If you're going to have that tagline, then you got to follow it. You can't pick and choose your moments, and you can't say, I like it one way more than the other. Kind of be in the middle. I'm a Republican, not going to tell you any different. But guess what? I voted on both sides. I've got flexibility. I've listened to both sides. I just don't happen to believe that the government should be dictating anything to us in a mandate. Sorry, my body, my choice. I'm vaccinated, by the way, have been for months. I would encourage everyone to get vaccinated. Not going to stop doing that, but stop treating people like crap if they don't agree with you. That's my line. Stop treating people like crap if they don't agree with you. Listen, move on, and enjoy your life. Now I'm going to bring on another special guest in Marie. Marie, are you out there?
Yes, I am.
Hello.
Hello.
So you got to listen to my rant, and now we're going to slide right on to a really special thing that you do. And I want you first off to introduce yourself to everybody and then highlight your show.
Okay, my name is Marie LaBrasse. I actually tech John's show. In case you wonder who's behind the scene, it's me normally. And I have two shows with the radio station. One is called Kaleidoscope of the Arts, and the other one is Sleuthing Eye-Opening Tales of the Past. Now, the one at Kaleidoscope of the Arts is all about the arts in the area. And my co-host I have brought on with me is Didi Gozian, and she is the executive director of the Northport Arts and Culture Northport Arts Center. Anyhow, and then my other one, Sleuthing Eye-Opening Tales of the Past. That one is about the history, and I just finished doing the history of the city of Northport with Joan Morgan, and it's a 14-hour session that we go into our ranting to, John. We do rant on them. Oh, and everything that you do here, like John or myself, it's our own opinion, not of the radio stations, just to be clear with people out there. The thing is, though, I'm also a social serial volunteer. And what that means is at the radio station, John and I are volunteers. We don't get paid for this. Who would pay us to be insane? No, they would pay you, John.
That's right.
To do that. But I'm also on the board of both the Northport Arts Center and the radio station. And I'm also the fundraiser chair on both of those. And you talk about being insane. This is what insanity looks like, because John gets involved with a lot of things besides his Buckeyes. His wife is the chair this year of the Diva Project, which yours is in April, and mine for the Northport Arts Center is January 15th. And we'll get back to that, John, because I want to talk about Giving Tuesday, because at the radio station, we are the leads in Southwest Florida for Giving Tuesday. Now, what is Giving Tuesday? Raise your hand if you know. Okay. And I actually am bringing up the page so everybody can know. Giving Tuesday is an international movement. It is not your fundraiser day of the year. That is an international movement bringing to light that everybody has something in the world to give. Every single person, I don't care if it's a little kid or an octogenarian, we all have something that we can give back to the world. And this is a day that we really focus on generosity, where you might go help the neighbor, even help them get their mail, or do something, go get groceries, or see something kind to do for that day. One of the things that we focus on at the radio station is we go live on the air and give people an opportunity to have a voice out there. And many of the times it's a lot of the nonprofits that use it as their kickoff to their end of the year giving, or they'll have something special going on, but it's social media driven. And what I mean by that is the social media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all of the social media ways of raising money or bringing awareness is at a highlight that day all around the world. And John, I haven't even told you this yet.
What's
Are you
that?
ready?
I am.
You ready? You are ready for this. Giving Tuesday International, the people that put it together, I know all of them at the head because I get invited every year. I'm the only one in our whole area that gets invited to their conference. And this year, in 2020, because of COVID, we were supposed to go to the Gates Foundation, and the Gates pay for us to go. The foundation pays for us on our end. The year before it was in Charlotte, North Carolina. The year before that in Dallas. But what I was going to say to you is, every year they start off, since we've been doing it, coming on the radio to do the kickoff on that day. This year, we're going to starting next week. They'll be coming on my show, and hopefully I'll have different people from around the country coming on and talking about Giving Tuesday and what they're doing in their area. Giving Tuesday can be anything that a nonprofit, it can be individuals, groups, organizations, nonprofits, the city, whoever. You make it be whatever you want it to be. Just, that you're being kind, giving back. So a lot of times people associate money with it. Well, Facebook is matching $8 million that day, and there's other organizations that'll match. And especially, John, I know that you're independent per se, that you work as a realtor,
Yep.
but there are people that work for companies that do matching money.
They do.
And this is just a great opportunity for those people that do work for companies to get some matching money that matches what you're donating. So just wanted to throw that up.
Well,
and
I want to
hey,
ask you,
Tom, and here's one of my special people, Tom Parker. Do you know Tom?
I do not.
He runs Young Life at the mall. Well, they're at the mall, but he runs Young Life here. And
Awesome.
they're a nonprofit, and they work with the youth around, and he's fantastic. Let me tell you, there are so many different nonprofits in the area that that do such good work.
They do.
And that's one of the things that we ask people: collaborate, get together with other organizations that do things and maybe similar, or stretch your boundaries. Like you, John, you could wear a wig that day and you kind of stretch where you have.
People wouldn't even recognize me.
I know. There you have it.
Here's my question though, because we've hosted this event at the radio station in several different formats. We really have, and it's through creative minds like yours. And people on the committees that really come up with strategic planning on how to get other venues involved. Can you talk about some of the things that our station has driven out to the community and really made this more of an outreach effort, and then the end result of some awards being given to the station? Can you talk about that?
Okay, well, I think you have it confused with Giving Challenge.
Well, that could be.
Yeah, Giving Challenge, we ended up winning $10,000 extra during the last Giving Challenge, which this next year will be held April 27th and 28th. And that's done by the Community Foundation of Sarasota, and the Patterson Foundation does the matching money. One of the things, and we'll be talking about that later on, but one of the things that we did where COVID had hit and everybody was really, what do we do? Well, because of me having some friends in the entertainment industry, and I'll bring them up on the screen because I'm teching it, so I can do that. I'm sorry, I don't have makeup on. John asked me as I came on teching.
I did.
I had to go and change my clothes even.
Listen, if I don't get to wear makeup, nobody else does either.
Yeah, there you have it. Anyhow, I have, maybe some of you people recognize these two guys. This is Seth Radesky and James Wesley. They're very dear friends of mine. And they started using the StreamYard format when COVID hit, when they shut down Broadway, because they're real involved in that scene. And I reached out to Seth. I said, what are you guys using? So he personally trained me. He actually, anytime I had a question, I'd shoot it out to him. And one thing good about StreamYard is they have training YouTubes, but they also have live sessions that are going on that you can ask questions, and the founders even answer you, and they're young. Those guys are young, but they've come up with StreamYard here. I can stream the version that I pay for. I can stream to 3 different locations at the same time. And right now we're streaming to 2 Facebook pages and YouTube on the one that we're doing right now. If you pay the bigger version, which is only $49, you can stream to 8 different ones. And LinkedIn is, another one you can stream to. Twitter. I think Twitch might be in there too. I wasn't really familiar with Twitch until the other day we did our summit.
What's the value of what we're doing when volunteers like yourself at the station, where we all volunteer, everybody's a volunteer? What's the impact that you feel? I mean, as a person who hosts my show, you're behind the scenes. I couldn't have put on a lot of these shows during COVID without your help.
Yeah, I love you.
That's I love you too. And that's the beauty in what we're doing, though, in community radio, is that the first and foremost thing I want to tell people is, if you really want to do things that affect you on your daily life, get involved in your community. Community is where things start. It's not the federal government. It's community. It's right here at home, right in your backyard. I'm going to get it off my chest early. Go vote. Vote, and do it often and early. And if they'll let you do it 10 times like they do other people, just go ahead and vote 10 times. And that's my political joke of the day. But I had a good time with that, and I'm done with it. But here's the thing. If we all just learn how to go pull the trigger on the vote, we get recognized in a whole different manner. If Marie wouldn't have pulled the trigger on getting knowledge of StreamYard, everything at the station would have been different.
Yeah, I'm the only one at the station that knows how to do this. It's not that it's hard to learn. It's just that I took the time to learn it. And the reason I did was Giving Challenge and Giving Tuesday, because I used to bring everybody into the studio or send John out, and we would be able to do it where you guys could stream it live, and we go live on the radio. For that time, we actually hijack the whole station that day when we do these different things. And one of the values that we give people is they don't have the opportunity. They may be able to Facebook Live, but to radio live it. And we're international. So we have over 5,000 to 20,000 listeners at any given time on our station. And if we're streaming it and also audio it's your podcast, but it's a podcast live.
Right.
Where's that value? We were recognized by Giving Tuesday as the only radio station in the world doing something like this. Now, there's a couple of others. There's one in Texas, a small place that picked it up because they saw the value of what we were doing, but they were only doing like 2 or 3 hours, where we do the whole day. We take over that radio station. And in case anybody out there wants to be involved with that and wants to be on the air, even for John's show or my show, just reach out to us. And how do you do that? Well, you see John's is running across the bottom of the radio, WKDWRealTalk@gmail.com. Mine is Maria@KDWRadio.com. Just reach out to us and we'll get you on somebody's show. I've had several people, because a lot of times, just like you, John, the radio station will ask for somebody, or people will know me and say, how do I get on a show? Hey, we're free. You don't have to pay like you do for other ones. Other people have, when you go on like the iHeart and some of the other radio, people have to pay for that time. Even like doing a commercial on TV and that, yet if you're on a show, you don't pay for that. But I'm really excited, John. This is the first time you've ever asked me to come on your show.
Well, I'm blessed to have you.
Oh, hey, we could have the John and Marie show.
We should.
Yeah, we could have. Yeah, you know what, Jared? I like listening to your shows because you have such great guests on and such diverse opinions. And you know, that's the beauty of having the freedom of speech, because we can say what we want.
Yes.
And I try to keep mine non-political. You know, and I think that's the first time I've really seen you go on a rant.
I get in this mood because I'm tired of watching people abuse others because they can't have a disagreement. Why can't we disagree? It's okay. I think I've hit that wall now, that it's even my political statement is not political to me. It's about any topic. People seem to have to pick a side, build a trench, and then argue about it. I'm tired of arguing. Why can't we just have an opinion and talk about it?
John, do you find that people are doing it in person, or are they doing it on social media? Where are you seeing?
I think there's a combination of things happening today. And this is a true visual of people are empowered by social media because they're scared. They're scared and they hide behind the false front. They can come up with different names. They have done all kinds of things, and people are learning differently today than ever before, because we have so many sources of information and so many sources of misinformation, that instead of people empowering themselves on their own, they're counting on someone else. I don't want you to count on me for education. You don't want my education. Here's what I'm going to tell you, though. Ask me what I feel. I'm going to ask you what you feel. I'm not going to get mad at you. I'm not going to get mad at any of my guests because they have a different opinion than mine. But I am going to listen to them and ask them questions. And guess what? At the end of the day, we all can learn new things. But I just find that it's, as we've gotten older, and I'll tell this story because this is a true eye-opener to what's happening, is that I walked in with my granddaughter, and I walked through the front door. She had her Ohio State jersey on, and the little girl next to her had Penn State. And the little girl from Penn State said hi to her with excitement and vigor and just couldn't. Oh my gosh, there's another little girl. She's right within arm's reach. Well, I looked down and they both were holding hands, walking in the store. And I'm like, I think we got friends for life. We don't do that as adults.
No,
We don't.
because I don't see you in person. I could hold your hand and we could walk in Twisted Fork.
We have seen each other in person, but you asked me a serious question, and I do have time to think about it because, you know, looking at Giving Tuesday and all of the events that we do, how many people have we brought into the same room from different walks of life that have one agenda, and their agenda isn't to beat each other up. It's to really build with each other. It's to network. It's to hug each other. It's to promote. It's, you know, I'm getting goosebumps because at the end of the day, if we don't love the person we're around right now, they might not be there tomorrow. Think about it for a second. We've lost a lot of really good people over this pandemic. I can't tell you how many people recently that I've had to just go, what in the heck just happened? I can't. It's happened in the last 3 weeks twice. So maybe my frustration is on the verge of blowing up because I just think people are not aware that it could be the last time you see somebody. Maybe think about that the next time you want to snap at somebody, the next time you want to think negatively about something, the next time you want to argue over something that we don't have control over. I mean, seriously, these guys in Washington, D.C., they don't call us to ask us what happened in our day. They don't care. They have their own lives that they're messing with.
And John, you and I have talked about that off air and stuff. At your local level, it's normally never, there's lobbyists not involved and stuff. But as you go higher, and that's one of the things that a lot of people are not educated on, is once you get up to the federal level, they're assigned a lobbyist. Those seats that they get sitting on those committees, those are bought seats. Yep. Those aren't seats that, oh, so-and-so's at that seat, but that stuff costs money. And if you look, and I agree with you, he and I have talked off air, term limits. They need term limits, but who's going to vote for those? The same people that are voting for their own pensions and their own medical care. So when you're doing that.
I actually pointed this out to somebody earlier today, and it was really a really good conversation. Okay. And nobody was upset with each other. It was just a good conversation. And I said very simply, at the end of the day, look at the leaders that we have today. Just look at them. I don't care what side of the fence you're on. Don't care. Just start looking how many years they've served. And then remember that they're going to ask you to vote for them again because they can fix what they've screwed up for the last 40 years. I just can't think of a reason to vote for somebody for 40 plus years that keeps saying they're going to fix it. They're not fixing it. They've done more damage because they're not working. They're working in their own world, okay? But they're not working class people. They're not blue collar workers. They couldn't last 10 minutes on the streets of Chicago. They couldn't last 10 minutes on the west side of Columbus. They couldn't survive. They don't know how. They couldn't even talk to people on the street because they're not able to communicate. That's why I'm confused why we as citizens don't pay attention to local, where we make a difference, where you make a difference in your community, where you can get involved with a community radio station, whether it's a Democratic show or a Republican show. You can make an impact locally, okay? This is all about Giving Tuesday. truthfully, giving, what does that word mean when it comes to Giving Tuesday? We give at the radio station all the time. It's a freedom of listening. It's a freedom of speech. It's the freedom of advertising with virtually no money on your fundraisers. All you got to do is call us at the station, email us over your PDF, and we'll take care of a public announcement.
And you send that to Rick J at kdwradio.com. He does the PSAs, and all you have to do is send that into Rick, and he'll do it in his very nice, sexy voice. Or if you care to, you can actually get a hold of him, and he'll make arrangements for you to do your own PSA. And some people can do it, some people can't. In fact, John, did you ever put together your PSA for your radio show that they asked us to do?
Oh, I didn't do that.
I didn't either.
I need to do that.
I need to do
Thank
that.
you for reminding me.
I called us out on the radio station, and if they're listening, they're laughing in the background.
Yes, they have to be right now. I can see RJ's face right now going, what? You didn't do it?
You didn't do it. You didn't do it. And shame on us for not doing it, because it's just a 30-second blip about our radio shows and that. And we don't promote ourselves enough, John.
Well, and it's funny because when I had this little bit of airtime, I said to you, let's get on and have this dialogue, because we can cross-pollinate some of our people. And I'm glad to do this with you. I'm actually overjoyed to do this with you, because we get to talk off the air a lot of times, and about multiple topics, because our shows are unique in the sense that we have a diverse group of people. We have diversity when it comes to that, and I think that's the biggest thing that we share. I think at the whole radio station is that there are a lot of diverse groups. There are a lot of diverse shows. There's a lot of ways to get educated. But the biggest thing is the community radio station is really built around the community.
Absolutely.
And giving back. I mean, giving back. We're talking about Giving Tuesday, and we're talking about a station that's focus, its number one focus is how can we give back to the community?
Absolutely. John, also for your listening audience, and it's going to turn on in my house, because Alexa, play WKDW 97.5 FM. And I'm going to have to mute it because it's going to come on.
WKDW 97.5.
There you go. You muted yourself. Because
I had to cancel her.
I know.
You
just had to turn off Alexa, because you can get us on Alexa and she will dial it right up, and you can listen in your car. You can listen all over the place. I mean, we're just trying everything we can at the radio station to really get to listeners. And I know that I have a lot of standard shows on, and I wanted to have Bert on because it's something creative that's happening really close to where we're at. And it's a venue that if you don't go see it, you're never going to understand what it's all about. And then having you on as a backup, and then talking even about the mammograms for dollars, it's to me, that's a big thing. I mean, just getting people, and that was, I'm going to say this, that was a lead that came in because they contacted the radio station via email and asked to be part of the show. I'm going to have them on. I'm going to have them talk about the fundraiser they have going on at the Broad Street Grill over at Treasure Lanes, so that can get promoted out the right way. And I'll put an attachment on this show so that you can see that through Facebook. So if you're out there in Radio Land, you can also go to Real Talk 97.5 FM on Facebook, and you can share this video, you can share this information. And I'm going to say this on a political note, everything I just said is not from the right or the left. It's dead set down the middle, because if we don't start treating people nicer, there's enough people out there that want to be nasty all day long. Why do we have to all be nasty? Why can't we just accept that people have different opinions and then find the middle ground? I just don't agree at all with a government, any government, because if this was happening in China, and it does, and we all don't like it when we hear about it, why is it okay now? It is not. Grow up, put your big boy pants on, take your medicine because you made a bad decision, and move on. I think he needs to backtrack what he said, and let's be America again and show some pride. And that's all I'm asking. I'm not asking him to leave office. I'm just asking him to not be communist. Sorry.
Okay. With that
That's
being
my
said,
rant.
I'm gonna move on to another thing because I want to talk about this while I have the opportunity. If you look at this page here, I'm the chair for besides Giving Tuesday, Kaleidoscope of the Arts, an intoxicating evening, a discovery into the arts of Northport. And one of the things that I wanted to mention to people is in Northport, and I know the radio station, I'm on the wrong thing that I clicked on, with see, I'm trying to multitask at the same
That's all
time,
right.
and I get confused. Okay. Learn more about this fundraiser. One of the things that in Northport is the art community is in Sarasota County, and in Northport, South County, it's not as strong as it could be as Sarasota, the city of Sarasota. Over $400 million is brought into the county through the arts, mainly up in Sarasota and Venice, in those locations. And that's because they're older cities, because they were originally cities back in the 1920, I think, is when they became cities. And then Northport wasn't until 1959. So it's a new city. And it was kind of, it's just been developed within the last, I'd say, 20 years that I've really seen a lot of development. I've lived here for 34 years. So I've seen a lot that has happened here. One of the things that I did want to mention, though, and I'm going to remove this because I have the wrong screen up, is I got involved with the arts up there because, in case anybody doesn't know, and I know we only have like a half a minute left. Anyhow, the arts need to be elevated in the city of Northport. And what we're doing is we're bringing together the symphony, the concert band, and the chorale, rock box, common grounds, which is part of the radio station, in case anybody wants to know. And we have, besides, there'll be a lot more people involved in this and performing. We have Imam Bisha. She's America's Got Talent Opera, young opera singer from 2019. And she was also the winner of Arab's Got Talent. And then Tammy Renee, and she just won the female vocalist singer-songwriter of the year for Christian music. Country Christian music. So these are headliners that'll be there. They'll be at the Plantations, which is in South Venice. Why? Because Northport doesn't have an event center large enough that you can have alcohol act, and we need that up there. Right. So we're having it at the Plantations, and that's where the Diva has to have their stuff, because there's not a place that's not city or school owned that you can have an event at. So what we want to do is do a kickoff too that evening and see if we can do a capital campaign and have a vision of people that can really be forward thinking. How do you do this and put it together? Because I think we'll have the right people at the event. And I was trying to bring up on the screen how to purchase your tickets, and it's a great meal. Sirloin steak and skewered shrimp and the whole work. So anyhow, John, just go to the northportartscenter.org to purchase tickets. If you want to know more, just reach out to me. John, I know we got to end.
We got to end. We got to go. We've had a great conversation. I appreciate you being on Friday. Short notice. Love your makeup. Love your hat.
Oh, and be kind. My shirt says
listen,
be kind.
That's the rule right now. I got the rant out of the way. Be kind. Let's just treat everybody the right way and have a respectful weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday. I look forward to a great show with you guys on Monday. And we'll talk to you soon. Be safe out there.
Yeah, Real Talk with John Rawlings. See you. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks, Marie. Boom.